Hey guys, Ash is with me again today, and I'm proud to announce that we're now a couple. So she's going to be helping me out on my videos in the future. If you mind that, too bad.
Yes.
Yeah, tough shit. I'd like to start off by saying that the Newtown, Connecticut shooting has affected all of us. Child-free, people with kids. You know, just because we don't have kids doesn't mean we cannot sympathize with the families,
Right.
the friends of the people that were lost. Horrible, horrible tragedy. Horrible tragedy.
Parents haven't cornered the market on grief in this one.
That's right. So, you know, our hearts go out to all those families, their friends, you know, their classmates, everyone. It's horrible. It's terrible. And let's hope that it doesn't, you know, nothing like that happens again anytime soon. One of the things we're going to be talking about today is the people in the community that are child-free, or any community that are child-free, that are helping with, you know, dealing with children, being a positive influence in their lives, you know, just interacting with them, you know, and child-free people who like kids, or, you know, anyone in society, teachers, caregivers, babysitters, daycare providers, school counselors, camp counselors. You know, they all deal with children, and a lot of people don't realize that people aren't doing this just for a paycheck. That some of these people are the only positive influence in these kids' lives. You know, they might have really bad home lives. Their parents send them to camp, and you know, the counselors, they become like family. You know, they become better than family. They're a strong influence, a positive influence in their lives. And you know, they can help show the kid or whoever that, you know, that good things can happen when you have good people around you.
That was the case for me in the summer between years of my master's program. I was a summer camp counselor for the Boys and Girls Club, and this was in Pennsylvania. And we were flat out told in training that some of these kids are in foster care, or they just come from the most tragic backgrounds. And you know, as counselors, we were the most stable influence in their lives, and I took that very seriously. It was really gratifying to spend 40 hours a week with these children and get to help them and then send them back to their situation knowing that there was a little bit more love in the world.
Something that's fairly new, as far as I'm concerned, it's new because it wasn't like this when I was a kid.
It seems to be the new generation.
Yeah.
The people that are our age and maybe a little younger that are having children.
Yeah. Discipline and self-esteem. You know, the fact that yeah. There are no failing grades in school.
There are no losers.
Anymore.
Everybody gets a trophy.
Everybody
gets a
wins.
blue ribbon.
Mm-hmm. It's horrible. You know, when I was a kid, if I failed a grade, that was my fault. Now, if a kid, you know, there's no failing grades, but if there were, you know, some of the stuff that led up to this was if a kid failed, the teacher got blamed. You know, the material was too hard, or, you know, he didn't understand it, whatever. I don't know. I don't get it. Like I said, I don't have kids. I don't deal with many teachers. I welcome anyone, you know, teachers, educators of any kind, to chime in on this and you know, let us know how it really is.
I know the government hasn't helped in this either. No Child Left Behind policies under Bush meant that failing grades for kids meant failing grades for school, which meant cutting funds for teachers and education, and that's a problem.
Yeah. But you know, that's you know, what kind of adults are these children going to become when they get out of school? You know, are these going to be the people taking care of me when I'm old? You know, you know, whenever, or you know, influencing, you know, me or my job or whatever. You know, we're all among each other. These kids are not going to graduate high school and disappear. You know, I'm going to be walking among them. I'm already walking among them, and
it scares me to think about being in job competition with some of these people, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've got the schooling, you've got the education, or you know, the experience. So, you know, when we see parents in grocery stores or, you know, malls or wherever, you know, we see them, like the kids scream. For example, the kid is screaming,
running all over
the place, just, you know, being a little brat, or, you know, being annoying. And we, as child-free people, we do not look at them and be like, oh, that kid is so horrible, he's a bad kid. We don't know his situation. You know, he might be locked in a closet at home, and this is his only freedom. I know that's extreme, but that could be the case. We don't know. You know, we don't know what his home life is like. We don't know what kind of discipline he's experiencing at home or anywhere else. All we see is a little kid running around screaming, and his mom is just not doing anything.
Oblivious. I firmly believe that these people, maybe they lose their eardrums when they give birth. They have to turn in the eardrums in the hospital. You'll never need these again. And therefore they allow the child to inflict noise on the rest of us.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of us see it, yes, as annoying, and people, I don't know. Like I said, we don't know their situation at home. And the parents do seem oblivious to it, I think, because, like Ashley said, they're conditioned. They hear that 24/7. We don't. So we notice a little bit more.
Nevertheless, though, the problem is the parents.
Yeah.
And you can't blame a kid for making noise, just in general. I see a 2-year-old. 2-year-olds make noise. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
When I was young, I have a younger brother who's 5.5 years younger than I am. And I was, quote unquote, I was a good kid. My mother used to say that she could leave me in a room with a book and come back in an hour and I'd still be in the same place and I wouldn't have moved or anything. My brother was hell on wheels. And when we went out to dinner as a family, it was one parent would stay inside with me, and if my brother started acting up, the other parent would take him outside and walk him or run him up and down on the sidewalk outside the restaurant until he calmed down enough to come inside and be quiet and eat. It's just the way it is. Now, parents don't even care.
Yeah, well, they don't seem to care. But, it's like I said, what kind of children are we raising in this generation? No failing grades, lack of discipline. What kind of adults are these kids going to make? This is their childhood. This is the learning period for them where they're going to learn that, oh, I'm never going to fail. I'm never going to be bad at anything. I'm always going to get a trophy. What kind of person is that going to make coming out into the job market? I think that's just a recipe for depression, honestly, because, you're built up to believe you can win, and
you
then
can do anything. You can be an astronaut, you can be a professional athlete, and you can be president.
All at the same time.
All at the same time.
Yeah. What are these kids going to do when they get out in the job market and all they can do is get like a minimum wage job because, they've got this inflated ego thinking that they can go out of high school and make $100,000 a year because they can win, they can do whatever the hell they want to do, and they can't, and it really, I'm wondering, in the next 10 years what these kids are gonna be like.
And by all means, if any of you all are engaged in employing high schoolers at this point, please chime in and let us know what it's like to bring the crashing weight of reality down on the heads of the entitlement generation.
Yes, very good.
Thank you. By the same token, I see a lot of over discipline, and it honestly stuns me that people would treat their children this way in public. Because I wonder what goes on at home. This was a while back. I was doing some grocery shopping and. Was turning my cart down an aisle, and little kid, I'm 2 or 3 years old, he runs in front of my cart a little bit, and I saw him, and I stopped and I said, "Excuse me," and he moved out of the way. His mother hauls off and slaps him. Really? This is the social contract here. I say, "Excuse me," the child moves. All is well. No need to hit your kid. It honestly made me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, obviously the kid's got manners. He learned it somewhere, obviously not from his mom, but...
Even just the act of looking up and seeing that there was a stranger right there, he moved out of the way. That was fine.
Yeah.
No need.
Yeah. That's a good kid, and I feel really sorry for him that he's got that kind of parent, that kind of guardian or whatever she was. That
it just stuns me. If this is how you treat your child in public, what is this kid going through behind closed doors?
I don't want to think about it. As child-free people, we do not. Not all child-free people hate kids.
I don't hate kids. Actually, the older I get, the more patience I find I have for children. The more I like children, but the more sure I am that I don't want any.
Yeah, absolutely. No, not in this generation. Not in this world. Not in this world.
That alone, a lack of desire, should be more than enough justification.
Yeah. But we're all supposed to, join the herd and do what we're raised to believe, and follow the life script just as instructed. Not all child-free, like I said, not all child-free people hate children. There's a lot of parents out there who hate kids. There's a lot of parents out there who hate their own kids.
I don't get that.
Yeah. And then they have
would you
more.
Have them?
Well, not only that, but, they hate their kids, but they have like 3 or 4. It's like, okay, if you discovered you hated them, why did you have more?
Medical technology has advanced to the point where you do not have to
Yeah.
Take the pill, get sterilized. For God's sake, use condoms.
Yeah, condoms are not difficult to operate.
No. If a 16-year-old can operate a condom, I guarantee you an adult can too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, it's the, we always talk about the power of positive thinking with teen pregnancy. It's, the power of, what would you call it? When the kids say...
The power of denial.
Yeah, exactly.
I read some scary statistic that said something like 75% of sexually active teenagers believe themselves to be infertile.
Why?
That boggles my mind. When I was a teenager, it was like, yeah, of course I could get pregnant. That's why I'm taking steps to avoid that.
Yeah. That's why I stayed a virgin until I was married, is because that was my number one fear was pregnancy. Because I'd seen it all around me.
Right.
And now, my stepbrother has kids, my stepsister has kids. All my cousins I used to hang out with.
You're the only one in your age group in your family that doesn't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Next time I go back to Texas, the reunion's going to be fun because we've got a whole slew of new babies.
I'm looking forward to it already, dear.
Yeah. And, a new girlfriend and, people are going to be coming up. No.
New fixed girlfriend.
New fixed girlfriend, yeah. So it's very, very little chance that we're going to get pregnant. Anyway. Somebody sent me a message asking if I could speak about my post-vasectomy thoughts in one of my next videos, and I said, yeah, sure, no problem. My thoughts on my vasectomy, I got it when I was 26. It's been 4 years. I was married up until the beginning of this year, and I think it's a bit stronger now. I'm happy that because I'm not with the person I was with, it's strengthened my feelings for it. I'm still happy that I got it. I don't regret it for a second. I'm making these videos to try and educate more people, as many as I can, to reach out, and make the decision for yourself. Mm-hmm. If you want kids, great. If you don't,
take steps to avoid it.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, condoms, birth control pills. If you were absolutely sure, 100% positive that you will never, ever, ever want children, go with permanent sterilization.
Options for men and for women.
Yeah, and vasectomies there's several different types of vasectomy. I had the old-fashioned scalpel kind. There are no scalpel vasectomies. There are clamps, which I'm not sure if they can be removed.
I would worry about that actually getting loose. It's one of the same things when I was initially looking at tubal ligation, and I ended up going with E-Shore. But with the tubal ligation, they can do that with clamps, and I'd heard stories about the clamps coming loose, and then all of a sudden you're not fixed anymore. So
yeah, that would be a concern. If you're going to
go tubal ligation, I would say slash and burn.
That would be a concern. But yeah, any questions for Ashley and I? Any comments? Leave them. We'll reply.
Definitely. You've been through vasectomy. I've been through E-Shore. So
yeah. Hey, any questions about either procedure? Yeah, I'd be more than happy to answer. Final thing, it's Christmas time. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas Kwanzaa to you.
Yeah, what she said. And sorry for the video being so late. It's been a really busy couple of months getting settled in here, and a lot has happened, and a lot's still happening. So we'll see where we are for the next video. Mm-hmm. All right, see ya.